So today we're talking about some of the great cooperative purchases that we've made off some Nashville Value Point cooperative purchasing contracts. These are great contracts. We're getting a lot of wins and how we're using them, and we're using some contracts that maybe typically aren't used by fleet managers and fleet operations. So lately we've been trying to think outside the box and get creative. We've been using the wireless contract, the cellular contract, namely Sprint, to get access to telematics units that we're putting on. We've installed about 1,100 units so far, and we're really starting to see some great wins there. So telematics are kind of like GPS units on steroids. That's how I like to explain it to people. They do course location, they do speed, they do the typical GPS type stuff, but they're also plugged into the car's computer. And so you start to get maintenance records. You can keep track of how their fuel is, their idling, how they're driving the vehicle, engine codes, diagnostic codes, all kinds of information. And that's what we're most excited about, is watching the cost for maintenance go down, watching the safety of our drivers go up, and just all the savings that comes with that. Telematics is fleet management the best possible. It can give you the information that you've never had before to do the things that you've needed to do and never could because you didn't have the right information. I think a great example of that, besides just tracking if they're speeding, which they are, and other things, is saving money on maintenance, saving money on fuel. Simple things like watching if they're just sitting in their car idling. You can do that now. You can say, hey, this group of 120 people 2 months ago, they were idling 360 hours a month. That's a lot of idling. That's somebody sitting in a car, right? Hopefully they're sitting in the car, right? And it's just not running on the side of the road. When we installed the telematics, we could track that. Then we turned on a little beeper to say, hey, you've been 3 minutes in the car idling. It's time to do something, and it just beeps until they move. That took it from 360 hours down to 60 hours. Simple thing. I didn't have to pay somebody to watch a screen. I didn't have to pay somebody to nag and to harass, and the people aren't that mad at us. And now we've reduced 300 hours of idling. That's money right back in their pocket, and actually everybody's happy with that. In our operation, we handle the maintenance for all the vehicles. But because they're scattered across the whole state, we don't have a central shop that we do the maintenance. So we contract with over 300 vendors to get the maintenance done. So we employ 4 ASE certified mechanics to answer the phones when our vehicles go into an approved shop for maintenance. Well, you can imagine we do a pretty good job, and we have great vendors, and we've been able to reduce costs quite a bit. But we don't always know when the car should go into the shop. We don't always know when the car shouldn't go into the shop, right? Some people might take it to the shop just to waste some time. Other people might not take it into the shop and it should be there because they don't want to waste their time. Well, with the telematics units, it will send an alert to my mechanic saying, hey, this car has just thrown this engine code. So we can decide right then, without ever taking the car down, whether that's potentially a catastrophic event, right? Get them down now, get it fixed, or screw your gas cap on tighter next time, right? Don't take it off the road. This is stuff that we're super excited about. Our agencies are liking it because when a car goes down, that hurts everybody. It's bigger expenses, somebody's out of a car, they got to juggle work. This is exciting stuff. We can see what's happening. And then when we get the call from our vendor and they say, hey, it's a code, misfiring on cylinder 3, we say, yep, you're right, it is misfiring on cylinder 3, let's get it done. So many hours, parts and labor. That's a great thing. That's a tool that I can't imagine trying to do the job without.
My name is Daniel Black. I work for the Division of Fleet Operations for the state of Utah. I'm the Fleet Ancillary Equipment Specialist, and I install geotab units into the state vehicles and other duties as assigned. We're saving about $2 month over month. It says right here in the blue. This month we've saved about $2 in reducing our idle trends. Over the previous month, we have another potential to do about $8 per vehicle better next month. Productivity savings, we're doing really well. We're saving about $2 in productivity. Maintenance savings, there's about $1 a vehicle we'd be saving there. Fuel savings, about $3 a vehicle. Safety savings, about $4 a vehicle. This has been a great tool and to help us manage the fleet better. make better utilization. This tracks utilization. This definitely tracks how vehicles are used in the long term, the duration of the whole lifespan of the vehicle, which has helped us phenomenally.
To tie this all into cooperative purchasing and why I think it's been a win for us is we've tried telematics in the past. We went out for RFP on our own. As in all government, we went with the low bid, and because we're the giant state of Utah, we got the best pricing possible, which means we paid a little bit more for probably a lower standard product. And it just didn't work. It didn't meet our needs. It didn't have all the bells and whistles, and sometimes we even wondered about the integrity of the data, which meant the solution, we couldn't trust it, we couldn't use it. It wasn't doing what we needed it to do. Looking in the industry and best practices, this is where the market's going, and we wanted one of those top-end solutions. But there's a cost with doing a large RFP, right? There's a cost with not having as much volume as you could. If you can combine volume, you can get better pricing that way. And we wanted the best terms and conditions covering us. So luckily for us, the state of Utah already participated in the NASPO Value Point Wireless contract. So we found two options already on contract, two great options already on contract with stellar terms and conditions and great pricing, which meant that whole first part was done for us. All we had to do is choose which one we thought would best meet our needs. So we got the national terms and conditions on one of the biggest contracts probably in the world, at least in the wireless sector, and we have cutting edge technology at a price that we can afford. It's everything that we wanted with little to no effort on our part.